Hi, my name is Tim and I'm in Sorrento in Italy.
I'm on a cruise on Cunard's Queen Victoria and I'm looking forward to exploring this coastal town in the southwest of Italy. The town is perched atop high cliffs facing the Bay of Naples. It's famous for its sweeping views from the cliff tops, its glamorous hotels, and the warren of tiny alleyways and streets in its historic centre. From the ship, you get a great view of the town's coastline, with the grand hotels and houses on the cliffs above, and all the activity down at sea level with the boats busy coming and going. Sorrento is a very popular holiday destination in itself, but there were lots of excursions if you want to take a coach trip along the coast to areas such as Positano, Amalfi, Capri, Ischia, and Naples. It's my first time in Sorrento and it's somewhere I've always wanted to visit, so I've chosen to give the excursions to the other areas along the coast a miss and to explore the town. Sorrento is a tender port, so the first challenge is the queue to get onto one of the tenders to ferry us to the shoreline. I know not everybody likes tenders, and they're certainly not as convenient as just strolling off the ship onto the dockside, but I find them quite good fun. Cunard had the process organised well and the queues were short, and we were soon getting ready to board the tender. The sea was a little bit choppy, so we had to wait until it was safe to find the right moment to jump on board. The crew are always really helpful to offer a steady hand. Once we were on board and found somewhere to sit, we were soon on our way. The journey only took about 15 minutes, and you do get some good views as you approach the town, looking up at the cliffs above. That was it, a quick jump onto the dockside and welcome to Sorrento. If you don't want to go up into the town, there are some restaurants and bars on the harbour side and a small beach area which I will show you later in my video. To get to the town perched on the cliff tops, there are a few options. There is a lift, you can take one of the shuttle buses that's organised by your cruise line, you can walk up the steep hill, or you could take a taxi. It is a steep climb to walk up the road, so we've decided to take one of the shuttle buses. It unfortunately means joining another queue, as they're just minibuses, which means they have limited capacity.
Because we have a lot of people in the road. I'm sorry.
We had to queue for about 15 minutes before we could get on one of the minibuses, so not too bad and still a lot quicker than the walk up the steep road. And the shuttle buses are free because they are provided by Cunard. The bus took approximately 10 minutes, and then we were at the top and able to explore the town. There are various shops near the drop-off point, so we popped into one or two for a look. Apparently, inlaid wood furniture has been made in Sorrento for centuries, and the first shop we visited had a huge selection of multicoloured tables. There were lots of beautiful ceramics on display, another speciality of the town. The shop we visited also had a selection of the traditional Sicilian moorhead vases. It was time to get some refreshments, and we found a lively cafe selling some delicious looking Italian cakes, coffees, and if you wanted something a little bit stronger, why not have an Aperol Spritz? After our little cafe stop, we headed off and continued exploring. I wanted to see the dramatic views from the cliff tops, so we went into the Grand Hotel Europa Palace to have a look at their terrace. It didn't disappoint with its beautiful gardens, statues, and stunning views out to sea. It matched the romantic idea I had of Sorrento in my head, with breathtaking views over the Bay of Naples and Mount Vesuvius. We also got a great view of Queen Victoria docked offshore. It's a steep drop down to the lovely swimming pool and sunbathing areas at sea level at the bottom of the cliff. The hotel terrace would be a lovely spot for a lazy lunch, for a couple of hours of soaking up the views and enjoying the lovely gardens. We left the tranquility of the terrace behind with its huge lemons growing on trees and headed into the hustle and bustle of the main part of the town. We were heading to the historic heart of Sorrento with its maze of narrow alleyways and streets. It's busy, but there's a great atmosphere and it's cosmopolitan and colourful as you walk further into the old town. You can expect to see a lot of lemons. The Sorrento lemon is famous for being a distinctive variety native to the Sorrento Peninsula. Its fragrant essential oils are used to make a whole range of products which you will see for sale in the shops and market stalls. Limoncello made from Sorrento lemon juice is a popular souvenir. We also saw them being used with oranges and other fruits to make delicious juices. There are lots of tempting restaurants in this part of town serving all the Italian classics, so what could be a better way to enjoy the Amalfi Coast than by sampling some of its pizza? We found a perfect little trattoria in one of the side streets, and they kindly let me have a look at their pizza oven and even gave me a go at turning one of the pizzas. With a chilled bottle of rosé, a fresh caprese salad, some fantastic local pizza, and a table on the street, it was a wonderful spot for some people watching and to soak up the delicious flavours and atmosphere of Sorrento street life. After a fun lunch, made all the better by the great service from the staff in the restaurant, we walked on to explore further and to burn off some calories. We came across the impressive bell tower of the Cathedral of Saints Philip and James. It's commonly known as the Roman Catholic Cathedral of Sorrento. The Corsa Italia is the main street in Sorrento. It cuts through the heart of the town, passing through the Piazza Tasso, and is the main street for restaurants, bars and shops. The Piazza is the main square in Sorrento and is named after the famous Renaissance poet Torquato Tasso. The Piazza was also the location of our pickup point for the shuttle back to the ship. It was another 10-minute ride in the minibus to take the winding, steep road down the cliffside back to sea level. There's only a very narrow pathway along the side of the road, so I would recommend the shuttle bus. I mentioned earlier in my video there is a small beach area where you will find Peter's Beach Club. Established 60 years ago, it is still run by the same family. The beach club charges an entry fee and additional fees to use the parasols, sun loungers and changing rooms. When we visited in early June, it was very busy, but it is a good opportunity if you want to do a bit of sunbathing and have a swim. To catch the tender back to the ship, unfortunately, we had to join a fairly long queue. Inevitably, at tender ports, there can be long queues when you're trying to get several hundred people onto small boats, particularly if you're trying to get back to the ship at a peak time. It is a bit of a pain, but the queues do keep moving, and Cunard did their very best to get us back on board the ship as smoothly as possible. Let's face it, there are worse places to have to hang around than Sorrento's waterfront. You get an opportunity to have a look at the cliffs with the hotels and houses perched on top. Luckily, we weren't queuing in the rain or the blazing sun. The tenders kept coming and taking batches of people off, and gradually I was making my way to the front of the queue. Finally, I reached the front of the queue and was able to board the tender. It was a fairly smooth ride as we got closer and closer to Queen Victoria. We got a great view of the ship from a sea level perspective as we pulled up alongside. Back on board the ship, there was an opportunity for a final look at the dramatic coastline of Sorrento, with its town sat on a balcony high up on the cliffs, overlooking the beautiful Bay of Naples. Our visit to the area had one more treat in store, which was a look at Mount Vesuvius. When the majestic volcano erupted in 79 AD, it wiped out the Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum and is said to have killed over 1,000 people.
I've had a fantastic trip to Sorrento. If you've enjoyed my video and would like to see some more of my travels, please click subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.